about motorcycle therapy time. Today's goal is nothing. Not what I'm going to be talking about, but what I want to think about, right? So if you haven't seen any of my motorcycle therapy videos, you should really check them out. It gives you a nice perspective of how my nutty ass brain works. And sometimes, most times, I use my motorcycle as a form of therapy in lieu of and augmenting actual therapy. I've talked about, bad thoughts. I've talked about positive thoughts or negative thoughts and positive thoughts. I've talked about journaling. I've talked about, using this as a venting platform session. I used to do this all the time before I even started putting stuff on YouTube. I used to just ride around and complain, vent, bitch, get shit out of my head. Then I would just watch the videos back later. It was basically video journaling or video logging, motor vlogging, all that jazz. And one of my buddies encouraged me to start putting stuff on the internet, and it's just been, my first real rant was me decompressing after deployment back in 2018. Now, today, I am talking about a current phase of life and most of the life phases I've been through. If you looked at my motorcycle, my just ride, no yapping videos where I'm just riding and not yapping, unlike today where I'm currently yapping, that's usually for the past year or so, for the past couple months to be specific. That's my goal. Just riding. No yapping. Don't want to talk. Don't want to think. Don't want to process. I use my bike to do that specifically most days. And depending on the issue, I get it over with. I go yap. I make a video. I put it on the internet. I'm like, cool. I vented. I've, expressed myself. I've got the feelings out. Or I journal and I do the same thing in some sort of way. And some days, although my motorcycle is a tool, sometimes I am trapped. Because I am alone with myself, not with my therapist, not with my friends, not with anybody else to vent to. I am here on this bike with my thoughts in a loop. And sometimes it really pisses me off. I get into the thing where I'm like, all right, bro, you already made the video, you already said your stuff, you already made your point, you already got it out. Why am I still thinking about it? Why am I still processing it? It's not that big a deal, or it was a big deal, but I already did what I went to do to process it, invent, and talk about it, so now I don't have to think about it anymore. Then I get trapped in that loop. Then I'm arguing with myself, and I'm going through loops of, oh, if I'd have said this in a conversation, or if somebody else would have said this, or they don't care. If they did care, it would be this way. It's done. It's over. It's in the past. Yes, it still hurts, but I've already vented, and then I'm going back and forth with the, oh yeah, this is what, I'm thinking about this, and this, I'm redoing it. Now I'm sticking my own thumb in the wound, right? And then I literally have to be like somebody in a movie theater where I go, yo, will you shut the fuck up? That's me talking to me in my own brain. I will sit on this bike, a couple hours ride, and be doing that. And then I'm like, you know what? Time to get these. I'm done thinking about thinking, right? I don't want the thoughts. I don't want to think about the thoughts. I don't want to process the thoughts about the thoughts. I just want to ride. I just want to be in the moment, enjoy my bike. I will blast my music. Because I'm trying to literally, my parents come in and yell at the kids, I can't hear myself think. I don't want to hear myself think. I don't want to hear myself think. Sometimes, when I'm done processing, when I'm done doing all the stuff I just described, I'll find myself falling back into that, and I go whoop, on the headphones, crank it all the way up so I can blast the thoughts out, because my brain ain't doing it, so I got to use some kind of auditory method. I don't like being behind this vehicle, and I just need to get the thoughts up out of me. Sometimes I do exactly what I just did. I will crank up the RPMs on this bitch, and I will just go. Not where it's like, oh, in the movies, I gotta go faster than my thoughts or faster than my sadness. Come on. What do I look like? No. But I do get out and I enjoy the ride, and I listen to the sound of my motorcycle, the sound of the engine, the sound of me shifting gears. I enjoy the views when I'm out on the roads, when I get to see some nice foliage, because the fall months are coming and the leaves are changing. Or I just get on a nice clean road and I just go. And after a while, all that stuff starts to overpower all the thoughts in my head. I get to experience the ride the way I want to. Now, it's not very often that I have to force myself to do that. When I do, like I said, over this last couple months, it's been more often. That's why I've been cranking out the Just Ride videos, because that's what I've been doing. When you hear me yapping, this is like weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks, I'll make a video where I'm talking and I'm chatting and I'm doing stuff like this. When I'm cranking out those Just Ride videos, that's just me sitting at home in the basement, going through the hours of footage where I feel like, yeah, this might be a kind of cool clip for somebody to watch. Somebody might enjoy it. I've already experienced that. I was just riding. Wasn't yapping. I was trying to get my brain to a place of not thinking about anything. I wanted to think about nothing at all. So yeah, that was the point of this video. If anybody else out there like that, maybe drop a comment. Let me know if I'm not the only one crazy enough to not want to think about anything at all.